Manual drop shipping on Amazon is way better than retail arbitrage, and I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna have a whole tutorial showing you why you should keep retail arbitrage on eBay until you learn what in the world you're doing and then have enough confidence and capital to get over to Amazon. Stick around.
Welcome to the Roughnecks. I'm Rico, your ecom instructor. I'm a software engineer, a military veteran, and a six-figure ecom seller. I've helped over 400 students on Amazon alone, and thousands more make money online. If you need to know anything about making money, you're gonna find it out right here.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Roughnecks Ecom channel. I'm 𝗙𝗥𝗘𝗘𝗚, aka Rico. I will be your instructor, and over here we talk all about how to make money online and off. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you click the subscribe button and a little notification bell so you can get updated. Check out the links below and get into the free Facebook group and all that good jazz. So before we jump into the Roughnecks computer and I show you why retail arbitrage does not necessarily make sense on Amazon, let's explain what these concepts are. So some of you may not know what retail arbitrage is. It's commonly known as online arbitrage, and that is drop shipping from Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that. That's against Amazon's terms of service. There's no denying it. It says right there in Amazon's terms of service, you cannot do that. People do it anyway. They make money with it, but whatever. Most of the screenshots that you see, the $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 screenshots, per month, those are from people doing retail arbitrage. People that are riding public listings, like Charbroil grills and Dawn dish detergent and all that stuff, that, those listings have been around Amazon for quite some time. They have a really, really high rank. So of course you're gonna get sales. You're just gonna compete for the buy box. And in order to, get the buy box, in most cases, you're gonna be differentiating yourself with price. And what happens when you have 20 or 30 other sellers on a listing, you guys are just gonna naturally drive the price down, okay? So there's that, which is why retail arbitrage margins are very, very slim, and you have to resort to being tax exempt. Also, cashback credit cards, rebates, using discounted gift cards, all types of things in order to make any type of money. Whereas with manual drop shipping or private label drop shipping, you're creating your own listings, you're doing all the product research, basically it's everything you would do for FBA minus sending the product into FBA. Your products are actually going from supplier to the customer through a method called third-party fulfillment, which is within Amazon's terms of service as long as you follow their guidelines. So you still have to do the titles, bullet points, product descriptions, product photography. You have to do your search terms, all these things, right? So you have to create the listings the best way that you know how, and it's more time consuming. So instead of spending, 5 minutes to jump up on multiple listings, you're spending, 50 minutes to get everything right, especially if you have a product with multiple variations. So it can take a little while. And that's why most people don't want to do it, because it is time consuming. So now that you know the differences, let's break down the numbers. With manual drop shipping, as long as you do your product research right, you're going to be looking at, like a minimum of roughly 20 to 25% margins. I generally shoot for like 30, 40%, which is not uncommon. In some cases, you're going to be doing 60, 70, or even 80% margins on the front end. With retail arbitrage, guys, you're lucky if you do 10% on the front end. You're really lucky if you're doing 10% on the front end. Most people will sell break even and make all their money on the back end with cashback credit cards and rebates. So, you could be looking at 10% on the back end. So even if you break even on the front end or sell at a little loss, you can make, 10%, maybe 12% on the back end. And there you go, you've made some money. But that is not what I would recommend. You guys are running the risk of getting your store shut down and having, $20, $30, $40,000 sitting in Amazon, which is not cool, right? So you may be doing $100,000 in sales, but your margins are generally going to be trash. I mean, they could be anywhere between 3 to 8% overall. That's really not all that great. Imagine selling, $1 million plus, and you only make $80,000 for the year. I make more than that at my day job, considerably more. Like, why would I get out of bed to potentially get my store shut down and only make $80,000? Now, granted, some people really enjoy that because they don't make $80,000 a year, but it's just not something I would risk. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into the computer, let's break this down, and Shazam! I'm going to show you why retail arbitrage makes absolutely no sense on Amazon, okay? For eBay, makes perfect sense. Absolute perfect sense. It's probably the best thing to do if you're a beginner getting into drop shipping. But when it comes to Amazon, that is not the case. Now, these are just examples, guys. These are just examples. This is not going to be the end all, but this will give you a good idea of why you should not get into retail arbitrage on Amazon unless you have a solid game plan and some serious capital. Okay, so let's break it down. Now, this is just an example product. It's not going to be this company, right? Not going to be this company at all. But let's say you get a supplier who's selling this same brand, you know, of backpack, right? Same style, not necessarily same brand, just same style of this backpack. Now, this is selling for $37.99. We can find a supplier over here for $14.80. So $14.80. Same backpack, guys. Same backpack. All right. Same exact backpack right here as this one over here. All right. So you're looking at $14.80. Sells for $37.99. Now, you're probably like, that doesn't seem all that great. You know, the margins just, I'm not liking it. You know, we'll just say the backpack costs $14.99 and you can get it shipped for free. So if you sell it for $37.99, that's a $23 profit. Not bad, right? But you guys are like, nah, that's not what I want. You know, I'm trying to do big numbers. I want to do the $100,000 a month, blah, 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 blah. So you come over here, you're like, I'm gonna do retail arbitrage. I'm gonna sell things like this. This is $299, okay? Not bad. You know, pretty high price. You're like, I want to do larger ticket items. You know, it'll make things much, much easier. Well, you come over here, you find it at Lowe's for $289, right? You're like, okay, not bad. Now, we'll just say that you're tax exempt. So let's say you got your LLC set up. You guys did everything the right way. You're tax exempt. So you purchase this, you don't pay taxes on it, which you're gonna have to pay tax. But whatever, guys. You're not paying taxes on this. You incorporated out of Delaware. You figured it all out. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, it costs you nothing to ship. It's $289, you know, drop ship to someone's door. All right, so $299 and it costs $289, right? You're selling it for $299, costs you $289. So let's go over here and put the numbers in. Let's break this down. Now, here's the backpack. Selling it for $37.99. You know, we're not going to include the cost of shipping because let's say you're going to ship it out for free. It's going to go directly from supplier to the customer. All right. The Amazon fee, $5.70. All right. You're making, and right here it's $14.80. You make $17.49. Margin of 46%. That is huge. Now, if you're doing FBA, margins drop slightly. You know, I can't say slightly. You know, almost 20%, down to 27.24%. Still, that's your Amazon fee and the FBA fee. You're still making money. You're still in a positive. You're still over 25% margin, okay? Let's go over here and this is without any type of cash back. This is without being tax exempt. This is without gift cards, anything, guys. So none of those tricks that you have to pull in order to do retail arbitrage, all right? You come over here. Here is your grill. Sells for $299, costs you guys $289. You're not making any, you're actually losing money. A lot of people will lose money on the front end or break even in order to make that money up on the back end with Ebates and cashback credit cards, which it may work, but overall, I would much rather make money on the front end and on the back end with cashback credit cards. This is 46%. 46% on the front end. You can't beat that no matter what you do. You could say all day long, oh, well, I get 5% cash back with my Amex and I get another 5% back with a rebate. So even if you break even, guys, you still are only at 10%. And that's on the back end. 46% alone on the front end. You can't beat that. No matter how hard, people who do retail arbitrage try, they can't beat those margins. They never will be able to beat those margins. Doesn't matter what those automation guys say. They're like, oh, I do $100,000 a month. My clients do $200,000 a month. Little do you guys know that most of the time when you're selling items like this, you're competing for the buy box. This was just an okay example of only having one seller. And more than likely, it's Amazon, all right? But more often than not, you're gonna have 10, 20, 30 sellers for the same product. So you're gonna be competing for the buy box and you're gonna be competing based on price more often than not. So it's a race to the bottom. You guys can't beat that. Look at this. This is negative 11% margin, almost 12. And if you were to do FBA, negative 51% margin. Granted, people do make money, right? People do make money with retail arbitrage, but the majority of them make their money on the back end. They don't necessarily make their money on the front end. In some cases, you will. Some products, you'll have a 10 or 20% margin. All right, I'm kidding. Like, you're not going to have a 20% margin in most cases. That's pretty rare. You'll have, like a 10% margin, but 46%, yeah, good real. That's not going to happen. Just just not gonna happen. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, you know. And just think about it. It makes no sense, guys. Like when it comes to the best way to make money on Amazon, it's definitely private label or wholesale, period. End of discussion. Retail arbitrage, you can make money, but you have to do a massive amount of volume. All right. Retail arbitrage on Amazon just doesn't make sense because of the fees. When you're selling on eBay, it makes more sense because the fees are lower and you're able to use PayPal and you're getting paid out every single day. Retail arbitrage on Amazon doesn't really make much sense because in order to get paid out every day, you either have to have a grandfathered account that can pay out every day. And those are generally accounts started from 2010 and beforehand. And to buy one of those accounts, you're spending anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000, which most people don't have laying around. So now you're stuck getting paid every 2 weeks. Retail arbitrage on Amazon is very risky. You will get suspended. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when you get suspended, imagine having, you know, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 sitting in Amazon that you can't touch until either A, you get unsuspended, or B, they decide to release your money after 90 days if they decide to do so. Doesn't make any sense. You know, absolutely no sense. You're basically just peddling product for Lowe's and Walmart at that point. You know, granted, it's one of the easiest ways to get started. You don't have to do much. You literally just jump on listings like this. You don't have to create your own listing. You don't have to know how to do titles, bullet points, product descriptions. You don't have to wait for your listing to get seasoned. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You literally just jump on listings that are already made and compete for the buy box and get some sales and everything looks good, right? But as you can see, your profit margins are absolutely trash. You just don't make any money. You know, I mean, look at it. This speaks volumes, guys. You know, I mean, this isn't made up. This is real life right here. You know, most people would be willing to sell, you know, at a loss in order to make that money up on the back end. So if you have rebates, discounted gift cards and stuff like that, like this could eventually turn into 15% on the back end. But still, you can't touch this. You can't touch 46%. You know, now I'm not saying every item is going to be a 40% margin on the front end, but imagine if you're using discounted gift cards or, you know, rebates and you got like a cashback credit card or whatever. I mean, guys, like that inflates, you know, that becomes 50 something percent, 60 something percent, depending, you know, so 60 something percent versus maybe 15 on the high end, you know, if you were selling at this price and using all the other tricks. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. Now to you guys, you know, it's entirely up to you. But if I was going to get into retail arbitrage, I would definitely do it on eBay. You know, doing retail arbitrage on Amazon doesn't make any sense unless you're just going for the big numbers, the big revenue numbers, not necessarily the big profit numbers, but the big revenue numbers. And you have a lot of capital. If you have a lot of capital or a really high credit limit and you're not afraid to get suspended and you have the ability to run multiple stealth accounts, retail arbitrage is perfect for you on Amazon. But if you don't, then you're running the risk of ending up with, you know, multiple tens of thousands of dollars potentially sitting in Amazon that you can't touch. So just be mindful of that. You know, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying if you are going to do it, make sure that you're set up in a way that it's going to be beneficial. You know, you don't want to get yourselves hamstrung, you know, and for you guys who are like, oh, well, what about wholesale? I'm going to, you know, show you another little trick. So let's see. KW-V3 coilovers. Let's see. We'll go with this one. I know for a fact that I get these from my supplier for roughly $2,200. All right, and they sell for $27.99. You know, usually. So we'll just say $27.99. They sell for this on Amazon, by the way. You know, don't pay shipping. You know, cost of seller fulfillment. Cost of product cost me $2,200. And $27.99 over here, all that. Even still, guys, I still make more money. You know, still make more money than if I was doing retail arbitrage. Like I wouldn't make any money if I was selling these at break even. Still $263, and that's if I'm selling them on Amazon. I usually sell these off on my website, so there is no Amazon fees. There's no $335 taken from me. You know, not even a little bit. Like this is insane, guys. Like $263 profit. And granted, when they sell on my website, I make infinitely more money. So this is wholesale. You have the ability to make these type of profits. Like, yeah, granted, the margins aren't even 10%, but this is $263. Okay, whereas you guys were trying to sell a grill, you know, that you got at $289 for $299, and we're, you know, negative 11% and hoping to make that money up on the back end. So that's just a little trick, but really this is about you know, private label / manual drop shipping versus retail arbitrage on Amazon. And so now you guys see why manual drop shipping is going to be the way to go when it comes to making money on Amazon. Granted, you know, all of this is much more difficult. All right, coming up with good titles, bullet points, and product descriptions, which are down here. You know, yeah, this should definitely be better. Like, I don't know why it's not, but you know, the product descriptions and all that good jazz. Like, you know, yeah, you have to come up with the search terms. Like, you do have to know a little bit more. All right, it's not going to be easy. You have to understand it. You have to understand that it is going to be time consuming, that you're going to spend, you know, hours as opposed to a couple minutes getting this done. But as you can see, guys, the margins are just way better, just way better. You know, 46% versus negative 11%. I mean, you guys do the math on that one. So as I said, guys, it's going to be entirely up to you, but I just showed you right there why it makes sense. And that's just one product. You know, there are plenty of other products where you're going to make even more money than that. In some cases, your net margin will be, you know, 60, 70%. You know, on average, I try to shoot for around 30 to 40, you know, for my stores overall. Granted, some products are only 15, some are 20, but guess what? It's still more money than most retail arbitrage guys make on their product. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. I wouldn't get out of bed to have to make my money on the back end. You know, that's not good business, you know, just not even at all. At that point, it's not really a business. You're just pushing product for Lowe's and Walmart. So remember that. You know, a good business owner is always going to find ways to make sure that their profit margins are good, not just on the back end, but also on the front end. Like, some people, you know, will sell to break even on the front end, and then, you know, try to make their money on the back end through other deals. You know, they'll try to remarket to the customers, but on Amazon, you don't really have that opportunity. So, you know, you guys are going to have to get creative. But that's it. So hopefully this has been informative. Hopefully it helped you out. Hopefully you understand why you should get into, you know, manual drop shipping as opposed to retail arbitrage, at least on Amazon. Now, again, eBay is the platform of choice if you're going to get into retail arbitrage. It's the best place for a beginner to start off. Amazon is not going to be that place if you're trying to start off a retail arbitrage and you're a beginner. So that being said, guys, make sure you check out the links in the description. Also comment on what you want to see. You know, I always help out as best I can. I'll answer all your questions, whatever you guys need, just let me know. And yeah, man, as always, be safe, be smart. I'll catch you guys in the next video.